Hello. I completely missed out on Friday Night Live last Friday. We had just celebrated Thanksgiving. My son and his sons were here, so I just got wrapped up in that and completely forgot about everything. I'm really sorry, but hope that you had a good week and hope that you had a nice Thanksgiving. I certainly did. That was amazing. But I did want to come on tonight and talk about a couple of things. Number one, what I was scheduled to talk about is the numbers for 2021. So I am going to do that. How much money do you have to earn in 2021 to be able to get one Social Security quarter? What is the taxable amount of earnings for Social Security for 2021? How much can you put into your flexible spending account or your health savings account? All of that kind of stuff. I am going to ask for a little bit of leniency from you, and I'm going to be using notes because the numbers just came out and I certainly don't have them committed to memory yet. There's a lot of things to pay attention to. So I am going to refer to my notes with those. But I also want to talk a little bit about Friday financial tidbits and some of the things that are going on right now because we're in the holiday season, aka the sales season, the buying season, the going into debt season. So I want to talk a little bit about that and see what you have going on and see if you have any questions or any things that you want to talk about. This is an open forum. If you are here, welcome. I'm Debbie Hatch, and I pop on here every Friday for 20-30 minutes just to talk about some financial topics, sometimes regarding federal retirement, sometimes just everybody in general. Super happy to answer any questions that you might have. If you just drop them in the comments, let me know that you're here. Let me know that it's helpful, it's not helpful, you want to talk about something else, you've got some questions. I'm here for you. So definitely do take advantage of that. So I'm going to hop into the numbers piece of things right now. Like I said, I'm going to use notes because I don't want to forget anything, and there's so many new numbers that I want to pay attention to. Number one is a Social Security quarter. Now, I want to clarify this too. I talk about it in my classes, but if you've never been to one or you don't really know, what is a quarter? The big thing that I want people to know is that it's an amount of money. It's not an amount of time. People hear quarters and they think about calendar quarters, and that's not correct. A Social Security credit or quarter, if you want to call it that, because those words can be used interchangeably, is an amount of money. And the amount of money that we have to earn each year in order to earn one Social Security credit or quarter changes. So for 2020, when we worked and earned $1,410 from a job that was paying into Social Security, then we also earned one Social Security credit. That amount is going up to $1,470 for 2021. Now, some people work in jobs that don't contribute to Social Security. For example, working for the railroad, working under CSRS or the Civil Service Retirement System. Some state employees, some teachers don't pay into Social Security. If you are working in a job and paying Social Security, though, once you earn that $1,470 in pay, you also earn one Social Security credit. You can earn 4 credits in a year, no matter how much money you make. There's another reason why a lot of people think it's a calendar quarter, okay? 1470 is 1, 4 in a year. You need 40 before you're eligible to draw anything from Social Security. Not going to get any deeper into that tonight. Happy to talk about it if you have questions, though. When we're working for somebody else and we are contributing to Social Security, pay a tax that equals 6.2% of each of our paychecks. That tax is called OASDI, Old Age Survivor and Disability Insurance. But there's a maximum amount of earnings every year that we pay that tax on. And that changes just like the amount of money for a credit changes. So for 2020, we pay that Social Security tax normally. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not going to get into that right now. But normally we pay that tax up to $137,700. That number is going up to $142,800 in 2021. So what that means is if I make $142,800 in my job, once I hit that number, I would stop paying the 6.2% Social Security tax for the rest of the calendar year, and then I start paying it again come the next calendar year. So that's what that earnings limit, that tax limit is all about. Speaking of earnings limits, if you draw your Social Security retirement under your full retirement age, and that's something between 66 and 67 in so many months. It depends on the year that you were born. Again, I'm not going to get into that tonight. We've talked about it before. Happy to talk about it again, just not right now. If you draw Social Security and you are under your 66 to 67 full age, then you are limited in the amount of money that you can earn from another job while you're collecting your Social Security. So if I go sign up at 62, instead of waiting until my age is 67, I can collect my benefits, it's reduced, I've got a penalty, and I can only make up to the annual earnings limit. If I make more than that, then for every $2 above that limit, they're going to cut my Social Security benefits by $1. So the earnings limit for 2020 has been $18,240. That's going up to $18,960 in 2021. Another place where we see this earnings limit is not only if we're drawing Social Security, but if you are working for the federal government and you are under FERS, the Federal Employees Retirement System. You retire under 62 and an option that pays it. There's a lot of little caveats when we talk about this stuff. Then you're eligible for something called the FERS Annuity Supplement. That supplement, just like Social Security, has this earnings limit applied. So if I retired under FERS, under age 62, I'm getting the supplement. I can draw that and go get another job, make up to the annual limit, and be fine. But if I make over that limit, that's when, for every $2 above, they're going to cut my supplement by $1. Caveat here, when we talk about earnings, I mean wages from a job. So if you are retired military and you're also collecting now your first benefit, your military retirement doesn't count against you. Your civilian retirement doesn't count against you. Drawing your TSP, cashing in your IRAs, none of that counts against you. Interest, dividends, all good. You can get all of that stuff and get a job and earned up to the annual limit. But if you make more than that annual limit in the job, that's when you're going to see an impact to your benefits. That's when you're going to see that reduction. Again, it's $1 for every $2 above the limit that I make. If you are planning to make civilian deposits for temporary service or redeposits for times that you left the government, pulled your money out, or if you are putting money into CSRS voluntary contributions, the interest rates for all of those have changed to 2.250% for 2021. The amount that you can put into your thrift savings, your TSP, if you're a federal employee, or an IRA, tax deferred IRA, if you're not a federal employee, or even if you are, if you're eligible to contribute. The maximum amount for TSP and for a tax deferred IRA is going to remain at $19,500 for 2021, no change. If you are 50 or older, you are also allowed to contribute an additional $6,500 to your TSP or your tax deferred IRA, no change to that amount whatsoever. So 19.5 is the regular limit. If you're 50 or older, then you are allowed to put an additional $6,500 in there for a cap of $26,000 if you're 50 or older. That's contribution to an IRA or a TSP. Contribution to a health savings account, which a lot of people refer to as a healthcare or a medical IRA, did increase just a little bit for 2021. In order for you to contribute to a health savings account, you have to be enrolled in a high deductible health insurance plan. With those high deductible health insurance plans, out of pocket costs can be as much as $7,000 if you're enrolled in a self only, and can be as much as 14 if you're enrolled in a self plus one or a self and family. But if you have the high deductible plan, you could also do a health savings account. And those did increase just a little bit for next year. They went up by $50 for self only, went up by $100 if you have a self plus one or a self and family health insurance plan. So the cap on the HSA is going to be $3,600 for next year for single, and it's $7,200 if you have a self plus one or a self and family. Cost of living adjustments went up by 1.3% for Social Security benefits, military retirement benefits, civil service retirement system benefits, and federal employees retirement system benefits as well. That 1.3% increase took effect, goodness, what's going on with the time this year, took effect on the 1st of December. I can't believe we're in this month already. Which means that you'll see that money, if it's applicable to you, come January when you get your payment. It did take effect in December. The Federal Employees Retirement System death benefit that's payable if a federal employee passes away while they're still working increased slightly for 2021. That's now up to $34,542.01. Flexible spending accounts, different than health savings accounts. For the FSA, we can only contribute while we're working. When we stop working, we're not allowed to, and they did not change this year. For the healthcare flexible spending account, the cap is $2,750, same as it was last year. That's for healthcare, and that's also for limited expense healthcare. The dependent care flexible spending account is going to be maintained at $5,000 contribution maximum for this coming year. Again, no change. That's the same thing that we've always seen, or we have seen for this past year. Let me put it that way. Listen, if you are a federal employee and you are planning to make any changes with your flexible spending account or your health insurance, your dental insurance, your vision insurance, this is the time to do it. We're in the middle of open season. Open season is going to go until the 14th of December. So time is getting really short. If you are planning to make changes, you really need to get on that. Okay, so that is what I have for the numbers for 2021. Once I get off the stream, I will drop a PDF, a screenshot, I guess. I can't put a PDF in the comments, so you can catch it there as well. If you didn't write everything down and you're furiously trying to scratch everything down, don't worry, I'm going to put that in the comment for you. So those are it for numbers. The other thing that I did want to talk about, and please, 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 again, you don't have to just sit there and watch the stream. If you've got something to add, you've got questions or comments, drop those in there. I'm always super happy to see those. With the new update, which happened 15 minutes before I went online, evidently you have to approve me to be able to see your name if you drop a comment in. So just so you know, I just learned that about 10 minutes ago. The other thing I wanted to talk about, though, is money. Right now, we are heading into the holiday season. We have had Black Friday. We have had Black November. We have had the week of all of the sales. We've had Cyber Monday. And we're human beings. So it's hard sometimes not to get caught up in all of these sales and everything. We've got a number of cognitive biases that make it really hard for us to bypass these sales. Okay, number one, we have a fear of missing out. I want to tell you, if you don't get this sale, you'll get the next one or the one after that. Because right now, we've got all of these sales leading up to the holidays. But guess what we have in January? Inventory clearance sales. And then after that, we'll have something else. So don't get caught up in the fact that this sale is going on right now and you've got to get all this stuff. Now, having said that, okay, if you have made a plan to buy something and right now it's on sale, cool. Go do it. You got the money in your budget to pay for that and it was something that you were getting. That's great. But don't get caught up in buying all of this stuff that you weren't thinking about, you don't need. And the only reason you're getting it now is because it's on sale and somebody's putting it in front of your eyeballs on your screen, on your stream, or in your email, or things like that. I went to a friend of mine. She's got her own business. I went to her virtual open house last night and I did buy some things. I planned on it. I went there knowing that I was going to buy some things. So once it was done and I submitted my order, she sent me an email and said, "Oh, you saved $60. No, I spent $200. And that's okay. Like I said, I budgeted for it. I did some Christmas shopping. I got some things done. I planned on doing that. But we can't be looking at this stuff as I saved. No, I didn't save. Sure, the stuff was on sale, but I spent money. That's one thing I wanted to remind you of, because marketers are really good at what they do. And that's why these sales are always advertised as limited, right? I had a number of friends who are really upset right now because in November, they went into a sale. The company was really pushing this. I'm not going to call out the name, but the company was really pushing this sale and going like, oh, prices are going up. Prices are going up. You got to get in here by this date. And so a bunch of people went out there and signed up because they were worried about the price going up. And then Black Friday sales came. And this product went on sale for even less than it was the week before when all of my friends went out there and bought it. They're upset. Nothing they can do about it. Right? The company just decided to have a sale and they're not honoring that price for people that bought it earlier. And there'll be another one and another one and another one. So one thing to wrap this up. We've talked a lot in the past about behavioral economics. You know I love it. It's fascinating to me. But some things to be aware of, especially as we're seeing all this marketing ramp up. One, don't buy into the FOMO, okay? That fear of missing out, because there are going to be things available for you to buy later, and there'll be more sales as well. The other thing I want to remind you of is when we see the sales, usually if it's a higher dollar item, we spend more money because we start comparing price as a percentage of the overall amount spent versus price as a dollar amount. Here's the example that I use in my classes if you haven't been to one. If I'm in a store and I have made a decision that I am buying a product for $150, I've already decided I'm going to do it, got it in my hand, headed over to the register. Friend of mine comes up to me in the store and says, "Hey, do you know that if you drive 10 minutes down the road, this other store has that very same product on sale right now. You can get it for $100 instead of $150. Drive 10 minutes, save $50. I'm doing it. I'm going to get in my car, I'm going. Because I'm comparing that $50 savings to my $150 purchase. However, if it is a large purchase that I'm making, let's say that I'm buying a brand new vehicle and that vehicle is going for $40,000, I'm buying it. I've already decided. I'm walking across the lot to go see the salesperson, and a friend of mine comes over and says, "Debbie, at the dealership 10 minutes down the road, that's on sale right now. You can save $50. $50 off $40,000? I'm not even going to bother, right? That's an inconvenience for me to get in my car and drive to that other place, look around to save myself $50. That's what I mean when I'm talking about we compare the percentage in both of those examples. It's $50 extra in my pocket. But in one case, I'm willing to drive the 10 minutes. In the other case, I'm not. It's $50 either way. So when you see percentages off, stop for 30 seconds and think about how much money that actually is and whether or not this percentage off makes it worth it for you to buy that thing. Okay, so I don't see any comments. If you've typed anything in there, I haven't seen it. Sometimes that happens as well. I will definitely see the comments once I hop off the stream. I am going to take a screenshot of all of the new numbers and put that in the comments for you as well. So don't forget to check that out. If you're watching the video not live, but you're catching it on a replay, type in the comments, hashtag replay. Let me know that you were here, please. That means a lot to me. Let me know if you have any questions. I hope you take care of yourself. Have a great weekend.